Hi kids, I'm Howie. Let us have fun learning about the different sources of history today. We all know that history is the record of past events. A source of history is a person, publication, or object that gives us information. We use different sources such as coins, letters, books, radio, film, photographs, paintings and manuscripts, monuments, tools or weapons, and newspapers to learn about history. Did you know that there are two types of sources? Primary sources and secondary sources. A primary source is a document or object which was written or created during the time of an event in history. A secondary source is written or created from primary sources at a later time. Let us now look at some examples of primary sources and secondary sources. Primary sources are letters, inscriptions, maps, audio or film clips, paintings, photographs, tools or weapons, monuments, newspapers. Secondary sources are textbooks, encyclopedia, magazines, biographies, websites. Hey kids, let us do some fun exercises together. I will give you some examples of sources of history and you have to tell me whether it is a primary source or a secondary source. Listen carefully and then answer. Ready? Here we go. I was watching the news channel and one of the reporters said I should watch a movie she really liked. When she talks about the movie, what is she? A primary source or a secondary source? The reporter is a secondary source. My sister leaves a letter she wrote to her best friend on the dining table. I want to read it, but I don't because I know it's private. What is her letter? My sister's letter is a primary source. I was playing with my friends and found an old wedding dress in the suitcase. My father said it was his mother's. What is the dress? The dress is a primary source. In school, we use textbooks to find out about many different people and events. When we use textbooks, what are we using? Textbooks are a secondary source. I like to read magazines for kids. I really like the stories about supercars. When I read these stories, what am I reading? The magazine is a secondary source. My mom has CDs of my grandparents telling stories about when they were kids. We love to listen to them before bedtime. What are we listening to? The CD is a primary source. When I visit my grandmother, she shows me photographs of my mother when she was little. What am I looking at? The photograph is a primary source. My friend Peter told me about a book he read that he really liked. He said I should read it too. When Peter talks about the book, what is he? Peter is a secondary source. When I visited a museum in Egypt, I saw a pharaoh's mummy. What is the mummy? The mummy is a primary source. I am writing a report on Mahatma Gandhi and my friend lends me her encyclopedia. What am I using? The encyclopedia is a secondary source. I hope you all had as much fun as I did learning about sources of history. Till we meet again, keep learning, kids.